We didn't catch that.
No, right? We didn't get that part.
Rolling. So we're here with Bailey Ditman. She's from South Dakota State University, and she traveled all the way over here to Washington, D.C. to see how national politics are carried out. So thank you for coming here and offering to talk to us about the Me Too movement.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
So what do you think of the Me Too movement?
It's a very interesting concept because I definitely think that if something wrong happens, you should be able to voice that out and stand up for your rights and stuff. My sort of issue with the movement is that a lot of these cases are happening 10, 20, 30 years later, and there comes a point in time where I think if something is wrong, you need to stand up for it in that moment. And I get that that can be scary, it can be hard, but there comes a point in time where you kind of got to live and let die and move on. It's really, I don't understand how people can hang on to something like that for 30 years and then want to speak up about it and make kind of a fuss over it. To me, it seems like it's too long of time span.
I think that's an excellent point. I mean, the right time to bring things up is contemporaneous with the incident. And so, in fact, many of the terms in which you can prosecute somebody have already expired. So, but I also think your other point is quite well taken, that it's fine for people want to share their experiences. I have a question that seems to bother me and some people, which is when you have all these anecdotes about these men that harass women or try to rape them or whatever, or rape them, there's so many of them that people tend to generalize about men, and then they kind of think, well, all men are bad.
Yeah, and it's definitely an issue that I can see, is that people are saying, well, all men are just here to attack women kind of thing. And I don't think it's true at all in a lot of cases. And in my own personal experiences, I know fraternities get a lot of bad reputations for stuff like that. And South Dakota State University obviously has a very small Greek system, but the amount of times that, even I've been going out and a guy's like, hey, can I walk you to your car? I want to make sure you get home safe kind of thing. Stuff like that. I think there are more men like that out there in the world than the ones that are getting all this publicity for doing bad, evil things. And I think it's important that we remember that there's more men are good than bad.
I have the solution. It just occurred to me. How about Me Too for men who come and the women come on and they say how great the men treated them.
Yeah, I'm for that movement, for sure.
So we can kind of balance all these other anecdotes of bad behavior. How about that? That might help. Anyway, another thing that seems to be implicit in this movement is that I think a lot of women say something like, why can't men be more like women? In other words, why do they have to be pigs, or why do they have to be so persistent or interested in sex, or why can't they be more laid back like us ladies and more passive? And so, what do you think about that?
I guess I would mostly disagree with people that think like that, and that would probably go back to my religion, is that I hold it very dear to me, and men and women is created differently. We have different ideas, we have different hormones, all that stuff. So I don't necessarily want men to act like women. I think that it's important and obviously there comes that thing where you said they're aggressive and they're pushy, and there comes a point where you have to be like, okay, it's time to, if they say no, it's time to step back. But at the same time, I don't necessarily believe that we need to focus on a more feminine aspect of society. I think that it's okay to have those differences and separations.
Oh, I'm really impressed, because you're the first woman who said men have different hormones than women. That's absolutely true. Men have 20 times more testosterone.
Yeah.
And that makes them more aggressive. It makes them stronger, and it makes them more sex thirsty. In other words, they have a desire for sex that is sometimes much higher or even overpowering. Some men have a difficult time controlling it. I am not saying that they shouldn't,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we agree that they should control it, but it's a much higher hurdle. And most ladies are unaware of the fact that men have 20 times more testosterone, and they don't understand what testosterone does. Testosterone is a powerful hormone. Of course, ladies have their own hormone
Yeah.
things. That's a whole different story,
different ballgame, yeah.
right? But the men, I like this example, which I think illustrates what testosterone can do. And if you ever see a nature show and you see an elephant in musk, which means he's at the high peak